This isn't gonna end well. It's not gonna end well.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
Why are you wording it that way? You know your track record with death.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory.
I'm so sorry.
An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Mericidia.
At this point, we're inviting shit to happen. You can't tell me that you can't tell me this tale, but first seal that thing back up. Like, we saw it. It's okay. We know it's there now. We're inviting a catastrophe at this point. We want it.
The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void.
Listen, I don't want to say it, but do you see the symbol? It kind of looks like a heartless symbol. It's our Kingdom Hearts thing for today.
Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
It's a fucking dragon, he probably did.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land.
I'm so sorry.
Along with my sibling, Ashdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Alagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Estinian is like
Not
putting
long
one and
ago,
one
you
together
told
like
us
me, and
that
I'm
you
like,
called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
I am not the size of a kid. Fuck you.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
Did you have to word it that harsh? Estinian, read the fucking room.
'Twas not that thy sibling scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
Into the darkness? I remember when Nero turned purple. I do not remember, if I'm being honest. But sure, I absolutely remember.
As did I. Were it not for Une and Doga, or Nero for that matter, we might never have made it home.
That's been
Do you
too long.
remember what happened to Nero? How his wounds allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether?
Ah, Chris. Yeah, okay, that's been too long.
Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome.
Gra is trying so hard.
Yes. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course.
Of course.
I wish only to forget the rest.
I can't believe that nothing went wrong there. That thing was open for way too much time. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might guide. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how the feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the guardians you so handedly destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. No, my apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the wall's secret. If the constructs can be repaired, we will be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Razahan. Well, we know that it wouldn't be big enough for a dragon to accommodate. So I doubt the system would just like pop out. If barely a kid can fit on. So we gotta go over there. Hello. The dragon is still really big. I mean, dragons technically don't age that much, but you know. I promise we'll discuss the void gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the wall sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Capiculu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it's conveyed to its post along with some few lusted constructs. He is a dragon. He just put himself into a human body. The other one is a dragon. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born of the Tower of Zah? The sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. It was us. I'm sorry. It. Oopsie-daisies! And we were just like. Just looking away awkwardly. Yeah. About that. Why such guilty faces? Surely it isn't you who are responsible for this. Oh. Oh, well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. Listen, we might have fucked up there. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions? Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemical forged lock and warded it with my magic. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. Everyone is constantly jinxing everything. Like... Listen, do you have to say that? In truth, the primary reason for the wall's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That sad, in its current state, it would admit only the lower layers of void sun. And from the side, no man would be able to pass through. No man? I should think often. You need to settle the poor boy. He's not even here. He's not even here! The poor boy! Given a firm enough push. Physical size only one consideration. The true restrictions hinges upon the etheric destiny of the soul in transit. And yet, you succeed in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemist, I should have destroyed the animal, and when I found it, instead, I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I'd given up searching for Azaya, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast source of energy to open a void gate, bound to a covenant made of the cloud of darkness. Once the sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken. The doorway is severed from its connections to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void sign. But such deals usually end in betrayal and death. Shtila just looks around like, boy, what did you go through? Please, you need a therapist to talk about this. About, like, you know. You seem to have struck a bargain of your own, mate. Though it serves you well in battle, be aware that the beneficial nature of your arrangement is the exception which proves the rule. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the bounty gate. Perhaps you could resume the search for your sister. As I've already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? Why am I able to throw all my friends under the bus? No, we wanted to see the Legends virtue. The Legends virtue, please don't misclick. Please. As you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real. If not its rumored origin, but I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to the trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Then we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? What you're thinking about? Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the garden? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you, and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. With that, I could join thee in our study, but the Loporits will be, please leave again. I mean, please go to you space bunnies, they need you. I beg my leave of you. And I must be off to No, you can stay, sweetie. And I must be off to Shalayan as well. Mistress Krill was eager to speak with you about their request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. Bye-bye. I guess. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. I am so tired today. I don't even know why. You may now undertake the Chronicles of a New Era quest series, Myths of the Realm. Seek out the fresh-faced student at the Baldesian Annex to accept the first quest. Is that the Krill quest? Was that the quest line for her? The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course! Thank you, Nix. Nix and I are in this together. I will follow her example. Meanwhile, elsewhere. We don't know where it is elsewhere. Probably in that void thingy. Listen, I know we had our Kingdom Hearts joke of the day already, but like, if that's 13 seats there, okay, it's not. I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from the side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it, a rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Let her come. I will drown the world and watch this flashing gasp for breath in her final moment. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath the sunless sky. Remember why we were seed not our will to find. This time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. For our star? Meanwhile, in the League of Bad Guys. Oh my god, yes, Karun. Absolutely. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups will benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. You think they're gonna be like, oh my god, I can't speak to the satrap, but like, two very, very famous people who, by the way, both have resting bitch face syndrome. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, I assume they wanted to talk to us. Next, you're to visit Akyala and Yedlachmad to give Masya and his people and listen to their grievances. Athenian, I bid you do the same at Palakastan. I will be conducting my own inquiries at the Gyanskal ground. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene in Magaduda. These names. Okay, where exactly am I going? Oh look, we're gonna have a little walk around town again because we absolutely can fly, but we decide against it. I don't want to fly anyways. It's okay. I like to take the scenic route, you know? That's totally fine. Taking the cute little scenic route. Because look how pretty everything is. Just look at her. There's a turtle. There's someone else flying around. No, leave me the fuck alone. I swear to God, I'm just experiencing the scenic route here. Yeah, fuck off. You better. So who do I talk to? Right here. Oh my god, is that a fucking corgi? It's so cute. The water animation was adorable. Hi there. Oh, Nix, I was so glad to see you had returned on high. You finished with the boat then? Yeah, absolutely. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kozel's lost. It does the harder. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. That's why I had to come here? Okay, we're teleporting back. That's the point. We're going back. Over there. Hello, sir! Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Tavernier, then you must try my special armor, lassie. It's refreshing as ass cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? No, well, I bought with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'll practically be stealing from me. I'm not a Senian. Estini. Who's this? You're the one who was with the spear-toting follow. Well, you can hardly blame a man for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Since you spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy a local prices, I tell you. If I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. So your problem is you can't really sell your shit for 10,000 gil. Because that seems totally normal. What about you? Affairs of port, well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the dangerous pass, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of experts is more than a pitiful trickle. If Coulson and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now, that was a man who got things done. God rest his soul. You have spoken with key local figures and gained an understanding of the populace hardship, which is no money, no food, no selling. Watching a way to a report on Magaduda. Yeah, let's go there. Oopsie. Listen. My mouse is just like pushing against my keyboard and sometimes I click stuff. Oh, these are just 2 people inside each other. I see. We have to wait. I have to go that way. So. There he is. Oh, I think it's already back. Was I so slow? Oh, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. And there are a few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. I mean, he has a point there. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Polakistan were anonymous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they preserve with some assistance from Yedley Mud. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Palakistan has weathered the distance between the most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Fafnir has been light and neat. Our nation is small and isolated. Its prosperity depended on a steady stream of experts. You must identify an obstacle to the flow of trade so you may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Arkeli and Yelimod? Exactly that. Exactly that. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlimad. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Yep. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome. But we will not, Nyx, Estinian. I will consider the perspectives you brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Did you got your 300 primos just to do that? You're welcome here. Welcome, Alex. I hope it was worth the 300 primos. I hope it was worth. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce a proposal to my assembled functionaries. I didn't think that recommended actually really works for people. But I'm glad I got like washed in over there, and I'm glad that you like what you see here. I'm happy to provide.
I thank you for your attendance.
Look, that's the dragon, Obama. That's the big dragon. That's the same person.
I love you lots and lots and lots.
Thank you so much for your follow. I feel very honored. You got another 300 primos for free now.
The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul.
Oh, you don't want to mess with the dragons. They had their whole arc earlier. Don't mess with that.
Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into
But
the
who do you want to
trading
sell it to
port
if
of
nobody has
Yedimad.
money?
Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more.
Like, that's one thing, but if there's nobody who has money to buy stuff from, it doesn't matter that they have now ships. If wherever they go, they just can't buy it.
None was spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware.
Well, it was a star-wide thing, yeah.
But an absence was created by the loss of Karazal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen. our artisans and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
So you just hope the further away you go, the more you hope that maybe someone is there who is willing to pay for
And
ours.
what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
Good point. Good point.
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind.
Okay.
A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted,
Yeah.
leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare.
Oh my god,
for
please,
years to come.
please sleep. 3 a.m. is not a good time to be awake. Please go to bed. Please. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do hope so. And hopefully till next time. I don't think that my streaming hours are convenient for you, but I still hope that you might drop by one time or another. Have a good
Thou
night.
hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Oh, what I deem the wisest course? Ooh. Listen, I'm not a politician. Yeah, use taxes. You know, everyone is starving and dying, but tax the people! Levy them on trade profits. It takes a village? Is that a saying? It takes a village? Listen, I don't think that taxes is the answer, so whatever this means, I'm going with that one.
Of course, we must all look out for one another. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
That sounds good. It's still taxes, it just sounds nicer.
Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
What do you want to call it, huh? Oh, yeah, some of it called Zal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate. Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that
isn't
right,
that the
men?
guy who I think it is? Wait. Which one is that? Listen, I thought that was the guy who
This
kind of
bodes well for
sacrificed
our boy.
himself.
Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
That is not who I thought it is. Never mind then. I thought it was the guy who sacrificed himself and then got nom nom.
Henceforth,
Names are
this
not my
initiative
stronghold.
shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation.
Whatever. But still probably a good guy. I don't remember who that was
Thou
though.
art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
These shoes.
Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
True, it is kind of like an Ishgard. I hope they're doing fine. Da 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 da. Da. Is it Alliance or should be Alliance? No, it's not Alliance. Free company, I'm a fucking idiot. Let me make some lights though. Let me make some lights. Oh, they also logged out, so I said hi for nothing. It's okay.